He walked into the night to save them. His brother, the ghost he thought was dead, dragged him into darkness, leaving behind the woman he loves, and 3 babies who don't know their father just became a prisoner. Aaliyah stands alone in a cabin surrounded by enemies, holding the only things Dehy would die for. Jin made a promise to protect them. But promises mean nothing when the past comes back burning. 12 years ago, a fire destroyed everything. Now the truth will too. This is episode 2, where sacrifice meets secrets, where love faces the ultimate test, and where a crime lord learns that some debts can only be paid in blood. The van smelled like rust and old violence. Dehy sat in the back, hands zip-tied behind him, 2 of Hyunwoo's men flanking him with guns pressed against his ribs. His brother sat across from him, illuminated by the passing streetlights, studying him like a specimen under glass. "You've gotten soft," Hyunwoo said. Dehy didn't respond. The Dehy I knew would never have surrendered, would never have walked out unarmed, would never have chosen 3 crying babies over an empire. The Dehy you knew died 12 years ago. Same night you did. Hyunwoo laughed. It was a broken sound, like shattered glass scraping against concrete. "Is that what you tell yourself? That we both died in that fire?" He leaned forward. "Only one of us burned, little brother. And it wasn't you." Daehyun's jaw tightened. "Where are you taking me?" "Somewhere we can talk. Properly. Without interruptions. Without your bodyguard. Without that beautiful distraction you call a family. If you touch them, you'll what?" Hyunwoo's voice was soft, dangerous. "You're in no position to make threats. You gave up that right when you walked out of that cabin." The van turned down a dirt road, trees pressing close on either side. Daehyun memorized every turn, every landmark, calculating escape routes even though he knew it was futile. Hyunwoo was too smart, too prepared. This had been planned for years. They drove for 40 minutes before stopping. When the doors opened, Daehyun was pulled out into cold night air. They were in the middle of nowhere, an abandoned warehouse complex surrounded by forest. No lights, no sounds except wind through broken windows. Perfect place to kill someone. Hyunwoo led the way inside, his men pushing Daehyun forward. The warehouse was empty, except for a single chair in the center, a spotlight hanging above it. "Sit," Hyunwoo ordered. Daehyun sat. One of the men cut the zip ties, only to replace them with rope that bound him to the chair, tight enough to cut circulation. Professional. Hyunwoo dismissed his men with a wave. They disappeared into the shadows, leaving the brothers alone. For a long moment, neither spoke. Then Hyunwoo circled him slowly, like a predator deciding where to strike first. "Do you know what it's like to burn?" he asked conversationally. Daehyun said nothing. "The pain is indescribable. Your skin melts. Your lungs fill with smoke. You can't breathe, can't think, can't do anything except scream." He stopped in front of Daehyun. "And the whole time, you know, that the person who was supposed to save you walked away. I didn't know you were in there. Liar!" The word echoed through the warehouse. Hyunwoo grabbed Daehyun's face, forcing him to look at the scars that covered half his brother's neck and jaw. "You knew. Father told you. He said Hyunwoo is inside. Get him out. And you stood there. You watched that building burn, and you did nothing. That's not... Don't you dare." Hyunwoo released him, stepping back. "I heard you. I heard Father screaming at you to go in. And I heard your answer. He made his choice. That's what you said. Remember?" Daehyun's silence was admission. "You let me burn because I challenged Father's plans. Because I wanted to leave the family. Because I was weak enough to fall in love with someone outside our world." Hyunwoo's voice cracked. "Sound familiar?" The comparison hit like a punch. "That's right," Hyunwoo continued. "You're doing exactly what I tried to do. Choosing love over empire, family over blood. And now you understand why Father was so terrified of it. Why he'd rather let his own son burn than allow weakness to spread. Father was wrong." "Was he?" Hyunwoo pulled out his phone, showing Daehyun's surveillance photos. Aaliyah pushing the stroller. The baby sleeping. Jin standing guard. Look how vulnerable you are now. Look how easy it would be for me to take everything from you. Is that strength? Is that what an empire should be built on? It's what makes it worth building. Hyunwoo stared at him. Then surprisingly, he smiled. You really believe that? Yes. Even now? Even tied to a chair, knowing I could kill you where you sit? Knowing your family is unprotected? Jin will protect them. Jin is one man. Jin is enough. Hyunwoo studied him for a long moment. Then he pulled up another photo. A woman. Beautiful. Dark hair. Soft smile. Her name was Yuna, Hyunwoo said quietly. I loved her. Planned to leave everything for her. Father found out. He gave me a choice. End it, or watch her die. Daehyun's stomach dropped. I chose her, Hyunwoo continued. Told father I was done. That I'd rather have a simple life with her than an empire soaked in blood. You know what he did? Silence. He had her killed anyway. Made it look like an accident. Car crash. Quick. Clean. And then he told me, this is what weakness costs. Hyunwoo's hand trembled. The fire happened 3 days later. I went to that warehouse to end myself. Couldn't live without her. But father followed me. Tried to stop me. We fought. The fire started. And you. He looked at Daehyun. You chose father's empire over your brother's life. I thought you started the fire. Daehyun said quietly. Father told me you were trying to burn everything down. That you'd gone mad with grief. He said if I went in, you'd kill me too. Hyunwoo's expression flickered. He lied. I know that now. Do you? Or are you just saying what you think I want to hear? I'm saying I made a choice based on lies. And I've regretted it every day since. Regret doesn't bring back 12 years. No. But it's all I have. Hyunwoo turned away, shoulders tight. I survived that fire, he said. Barely. Spent 2 years in hospitals, surgeries. Pain that made death seem kind. And the whole time, I had one thought. Make you feel what I felt. Take everything from you the way everything was taken from me. He faced Daehyun again. So here's what's going to happen. You're going to stay here, alive, fed, comfortable, while I systematically destroy everything you love, your empire, your allies, your reputation, and when there's nothing left. He pulled out his phone again, showing a live feed. The cabin. Aaliyah in the nursery rocking one of the babies. I'll take them. Daehyun lunged against the ropes. You son of a... Careful. The more you fight, the faster I move. Hyunwoo pocketed the phone. You have a choice, little brother. Give me what I want willingly, or watch me take it piece by piece. What do you want? Your empire? Your territory? Your name? Everything father gave you instead of me. Hyunwoo's smile was cold. Sign it over. All of it. Make me the head of the Kang family. And I'll let your woman and those babies live. You expect me to believe? I don't care what you believe. You have 48 hours to decide. After that, I start taking collateral. Maybe I kill Jin. Maybe I burn down your headquarters. Maybe. He let the threat hang. Maybe I visit that cabin when Aaliyah is sleeping. Daehyun's vision went red. I will kill you. No, you won't. Because the moment you try, she dies. They all die. I have men everywhere, Daehyun. Watching, waiting. One word from me, and your entire world burns. He walked toward the exit. 48 hours. Think carefully. Then he was gone. And Daehyun sat alone in the darkness, bound to a chair, every muscle screaming to break free, to get back to his family, to protect what mattered. But for the first time in his life, the great Daehyun Kang was completely powerless. Aaliyah didn't sleep. How could she? Daehyun had walked out into the night 6 hours ago, and she hadn't heard from him since. Jin paced the living room, phone pressed to his ear, calling every contact he had. But no one had seen Daehyun. No one knew where Hyunwoo had taken him. It was like he'd vanished. The babies slept, oblivious. Minji in her crib, Hana beside her, June in the bassinet near the window. 3 perfect little lives that depended on her to keep them safe. And she had no idea how. Jin appeared in the doorway. "I've got men searching. Every warehouse, every property Hyunwoo might have access to. We'll find him. And if you don't?" Jin didn't answer. Aaliyah stood, careful not to wake the babies, and walked to the window. The woods were dark, threatening. Every shadow could be a threat. "Tell me the truth," she said quietly. "If Hyunwoo wanted Daehyun dead, would he be alive right now?" Jin hesitated. "No. So he wants something else. Revenge, power, both. And us?" She turned to face him. "What does he want with us?" "Leverage. You and those babies are the only thing Daehyun cares about more than the empire. Hyunwoo knows that." Aaliyah wrapped her arms around herself. "So we're bait. Your family. And I swore to protect you. You're one man, Jin. I'm enough." His confidence should have been reassuring, but Aaliyah had learned enough about Daehyun's world to know confidence didn't stop bullets. It didn't prevent betrayal, and it certainly didn't guarantee survival. "We should leave," she said. "Take the babies somewhere safe, somewhere Hyunwoo can't find us. There is nowhere he can't find you. Not if he has the resources he's showing. Running just makes you more vulnerable. And staying here makes us sitting ducks. Staying here means I can defend you. The cabin is fortified. I have men on the perimeter. If Hyunwoo makes a move, we'll see him coming. And if he doesn't make a move? If he just waits?" Jin's expression darkened. "Then we wait too." The attack came at dawn. Aaliyah was feeding June when the first gunshot shattered the morning quiet. Jin was moving before the echo faded, grabbing her and pushing her toward the floor. "Stay down." More gunshots, glass breaking, men shouting outside. The babies started screaming. Aaliyah's heart hammered as she crawled to the cribs, pulling Minji and Hana into her arms while Jin returned fire from the window. "How many?" she shouted over the noise. 6, maybe more." Jin's voice was calm, controlled, like this was just another day. "They're testing our defenses." "Testing? They're shooting at us." "If they wanted you dead, they'd have used grenades. This is reconnaissance. They want to see how we respond." Another window shattered. One of Jin's men appeared in the doorway, blood streaming from a shoulder wound. "South side is compromised," he gasped. "They breached the fence." Jin cursed. "Fall back to the second floor. Barricade the stairs." "What about—" "Do it." The man disappeared. Jin turned to Aaliyah. "Can you shoot?" "What?" He pulled a handgun from his jacket, checked it, and held it out. "Can you shoot?" "I'm a nurse." That wasn't the question. Aaliyah stared at the gun. She'd never held one. Never wanted to. But looking at her babies, crying, terrified, dependent on her, she realized she didn't have the luxury of principles. She took the gun. "Safety's off," Jin said. "Point, squeeze, don't hesitate." "I can't—" "Yes, you can. For them." He was right. Aaliyah nodded, clutching the weapon in one hand while holding June against her chest with the other. Jin moved to the window, peering out. "They're pulling back." "Why?" "Because they got what they came for." "Which is?" He looked at her. "They know we're vulnerable. They know our positions. And they know you're still here." The implication settled over her like ice water. "They're coming back," she whispered. "Yes, with more men. Better weapons. And next time it won't be a test." Aaliyah looked down at June, his tiny face red from crying, his eyes searching for comfort she didn't know how to give. "We can't stay here," she said. "I know. So where do we go?" Jin pulled out his phone, scrolling through contacts. "There's one place Hyunwoo won't expect. One person who might help." "Who?" He showed her the name on the screen. Minseo Park. Aaliyah's stomach dropped. Daehyun's ex-wife? His annulled wife, and the daughter of the most powerful crime lord on the East Coast. Jin pocketed the phone. If anyone can protect you, it's her father. And if anyone owes Daehyun a favor, it's her. She hates me. I'm the reason her marriage ended. Maybe. But she's also smart enough to know that if Hyunwoo destroys Daehyun's family, it destabilizes the entire region. War is bad for business. She'll help, if we ask right. Aaliyah wanted to argue, wanted to find another option. But the sound of her babies crying and the memory of gunshots told her she didn't have the luxury of pride. Make the call, she said. Minseo answered on the third ring. This is unexpected, she said coolly. We need your help, Jin said, putting the phone on speaker. We? Aaliyah and the babies. Hyunwoo's men just attacked the safe house. They'll be back. We need somewhere secure. Silence. Then, where's Daehyun? Hyunwoo has him. More silence. I see, Minseo said finally. And you think I should risk my family's resources to protect his mistress and illegitimate children? Aaliyah's jaw clenched. But before she could respond, Jin spoke. I think you're smart enough to see the bigger picture. Hyunwoo isn't just after Daehyun. He's after destabilization, chaos. If he succeeds, the alliance your father worked for crumbles. Territory disputes restart. Blood flows. Your father doesn't want that. My father also doesn't owe Daehyun anything. Not anymore. No, but you do. Excuse me. Daehyun could have fought the annulment, could have made things ugly, dragged your name through every crime family from here to California. Instead, he walked away quietly. Let you keep your dignity, your reputation. That's worth something. Another pause. One condition, Minseo said. Name it. When this is over, Daehyun owes me. A favor. No questions asked. No time limit. Jin glanced at Aaliyah. She nodded. Agreed, Jin said. Good. Bring them to the estate. I'll have security waiting. The line went dead. Aaliyah exhaled slowly. Can we trust her? No. But right now she's the best option we have. Jin started gathering supplies. Diapers, formula, clothes for the babies. Moving with military efficiency. Aaliyah strapped the babies into their carriers, her hands shaking. This wasn't supposed to be her life. She was supposed to be a nurse. Helping people. Living a quiet, simple existence. Not running from armed men with 3 infants in the middle of a crime war. But she'd fallen in love with Daehyun. And love, she was learning, came with a price she hadn't agreed to pay. Ready? Jin asked. Aaliyah looked at her babies. Minji had stopped crying, her dark eyes watching her mother, trusting her to keep them safe. Ready, Aaliyah lied. They left through the back exit, moving quickly through the woods toward a secondary vehicle Jin had stashed half a mile away. Behind them, the cabin stood empty, waiting for the next attack that would never come, because the prey had already fled. And in a dark warehouse 20 miles away, Daehyun sat bound to a chair, staring at a phone screen showing an empty nursery. His family was gone, and he had no idea if that meant they were safe, or already dead. Hyunwoo returned 6 hours later. He walked into the warehouse carrying 2 cups of coffee and a folder thick with documents. Good news, he said cheerfully. Your family escaped. Daehyun's head snapped up. What? Jin got them out before my men could finish the job. Smart. I expected nothing less. He set 1 coffee cup on the floor near Daehyun, just out of reach. They're at the Park Estate now, under Minseo's protection. Relief and rage warred in Daehyun's chest. You look surprised, Hyunwoo continued. Did you think I'd actually kill them? I'm not a monster, little brother. I'm just motivated. Motivated to torture me. Motivated to make you understand. Hyunwoo pulled up a chair, sitting across from him. You took everything from me. My life, my love, my future. Now you get to watch as I do the same to you. Slowly, methodically, until you're as empty as I was. I didn't take Yuna from you. Father did. And you stood by and let it happen. The words echoed through the warehouse. Hyunwoo took a breath, visibly calming himself. You want to know what the worst part was? He asked quietly. It wasn't the burns, wasn't the pain, wasn't even watching her coffin lowered into the ground. He leaned forward. It was knowing that my own brother, the person I trusted most in this world, chose father over me, chose the empire over family, and then went on to build an even bigger empire on the ashes of my life. I thought you were dead, Dehy said. For 12 years I thought, you thought wrong. I survived, rebuilt myself, spent years planning this moment. Hyunwoo opened the folder, pulling out photographs. Do you know how easy it was to track you? To learn everything about your operation? You got sloppy, Dehy, comfortable. Thought you were untouchable. He spread the photos across the floor. Surveillance images of Daehyun's headquarters, his associates, his territory, and Aaliyah. Dozens of photos of Aaliyah, at the hospital, at the park, shopping for baby supplies, living her life, completely unaware she was being watched. I've been following her for months, Hyunwoo said. Even before you knew about the babies. I watched you fall in love, watched you try to walk away, watched you break her heart. He smiled, and I thought, perfect. He finally understands what it feels like to lose something that matters. Daehyun strained against the ropes. If you hurt her, you'll what? You're tied to a chair. Your empire is leaderless. Your family is under someone else's protection. You have no leverage here. I have something you want. Otherwise, I'd already be dead. Hyunwoo's smile faded. Smart. Yes. I need something from you. The empire. Part of it. The rest. He pulled out a document. The rest is insurance. Daehyun scanned the paper. It was a contract, transferring ownership of 60% of his holdings to Hyunwoo, keeping 40% in Daehyun's name. Why not take it all? Daehyun asked. Because I'm not stupid. If I take everything, your people revolt. They see me as a usurper. A threat. But if you voluntarily give me controlling interest, if you publicly acknowledge me as your brother and your partner, then the transition is smooth, legitimate, and no one dies unnecessarily. Except my power. You'll still have enough to survive, to provide for your family, to live quietly. Isn't that what you wanted? A simple life with the woman you love. Daehyun studied the contract. And if I refuse, then I stop being merciful. I kill Jin first, make it public, messy, send a message. Then I go after your lieutenants, your allies, your income streams. Piece by piece, I dismantle everything you've built. And when you have nothing left, when you're begging me to stop, Hyunwoo's voice dropped to a whisper. I take your family anyway. The threat hung between them. You have until tomorrow night, Hyunwoo said, standing. Sign the contract and this ends peacefully. Refuse, and I burn your world down, starting with the people you love. He walked toward the exit. One more thing, Daehyun called out. Hyunwoo paused. The fire. 12 years ago. What really happened? Hyunwoo turned, his scarred face catching the light. You want the truth? Fine. I went to that warehouse to end myself. Couldn't live without Yuna. Couldn't face a world where loving someone got them killed. I was going to burn it all down. The warehouse, myself, everything. He touched his scars. But father followed me, tried to stop me, said I was being weak, that Yuna wasn't worth destroying the family over. We fought. He grabbed a lamp. It shattered. The fuel spilled. And the fire started. Hyunwoo's voice cracked. He ran. Left me there. Screaming, burning. And when I finally crawled out, half dead, covered in burns, the first person I saw was you, standing outside, watching. Father was next to you, telling you to leave, that it was too late, that I was already gone. He met Daehyun's eyes, and you listened. You turned around, and you walked away. Daehyun's throat tightened. I didn't know you were alive. He told me. He told you what you wanted to hear, that your rival was dead, that the throne was secure, that you didn't have to choose between your brother and your inheritance. Hyunwoo's laugh was bitter. And you took it. You took everything. Built an empire on my grave. I'm sorry. Sorry doesn't give me back 12 years. No. But it's all I have. Hyunwoo stared at him for a long moment. Then he turned and walked out. And Daehyun sat alone in the darkness, the weight of 12 years pressing down on him like the ropes cutting into his wrists. He'd made a choice that night. A terrible choice. Based on lies and fear and the desperate need to believe his father over his gut. And now, his family was paying for it. Aaliyah, Minji, Hana, June. 3 babies who didn't ask to be born into this world. Who deserved better than a father haunted by ghosts and bound by blood. But he couldn't change the past. All he could do was survive the present. And pray that 48 hours was enough time to find a way out. Before his brother took everything. Again. The park estate looked like something from a different world. 20-foot walls. Armed guards at every gate. Cameras tracking every angle. Inside, marble floors stretched beneath crystal chandeliers, and the smell of old money hung in the air like expensive perfume. Aaliyah stood in the foyer, holding June while Jin carried the other 2 babies, feeling completely out of place. A woman descended the grand staircase. Min Seo Park. Beautiful in a way that seemed calculated. Tailored suit, perfect makeup, heels that clicked against marble like a countdown. You look exhausted, Min Seo said without preamble. I've had a long night, Aaliyah replied. I imagine. Min Seo's eyes swept over the babies. They're beautiful. I can see why he chose you. The words carried no warmth. Just observation. Thank you for this, Aaliyah said carefully. I know it's complicated, uncomfortable, a political nightmare. Min Seo smiled. Yes, all of those. But Jin was right. Stability benefits everyone. And Daehyun. She paused. He may not be my husband anymore, but I don't wish him dead. A maid appeared, offering to take the babies to a prepared nursery. Aaliyah's grip on June tightened. I'd rather keep them with me. You haven't slept in 36 hours, Min Seo said. My staff is trained. The nursery is monitored. Let them help. Every instinct screamed not to let her babies out of her sight. But exhaustion was making her hands shake, and June needed a proper crib, not her trembling arms. Okay, she whispered. The maid took the babies gently, disappearing up the stairs. Min Seo gestured toward a sitting room. We need to talk. The room was elegant, understated. The kind of place where dangerous people made deals that changed lives. Min Seo poured tea with practiced grace. How much do you know about Hyunwoo? Only what Jin told me. That he's Daehyun's brother. That everyone thought he died 12 years ago. He didn't just die. He was erased. Min Seo handed her a cup. After the fire, Daehyun's father made sure no one would look for Hyunwoo. Paid off hospitals. Falsified records. The official story was that Hyunwoo's body was too badly burned to recover. Closed casket funeral. The family moved on. But he survived. Obviously. Though how he stayed hidden this long. Min Seo shook her head. That takes resources. Planning. Someone helped him. Who? That's what my father is trying to find out. Hyunwoo couldn't have rebuilt himself alone. Someone wanted him alive. Wanted him angry. Wanted him to come back and destabilize the Kang Empire. Aaliyah set down her tea. Why are you helping us? Really? Min Seo studied her for a long moment. Because Daehyun isn't the only one who made choices, she said quietly. Our marriage was arranged. Strategic. I knew he didn't love me. But I thought, maybe eventually. Maybe we could build something real. She looked away. Then I saw him look at you in that church. The way he never looked at me. And I realized I was competing with something I could never win against. I didn't mean to, I know. That's what makes it worse. You didn't try to steal him. He was just yours, from the moment he met you. Min Seo's smile was sad. I can hate that, or I can accept it. And acceptance means protecting what he loves, even if it's not me. The honesty was startling. Thank you, Aaliyah said. Don't thank me yet. This estate is secure, but it's not a fortress. If Hyunwoo wants you badly enough, he'll find a way in. We're buying time, not safety. How much time? 48 hours. Maybe less. Minseo's phone buzzed. She glanced at it, frowned. My father wants to meet you. Why? Because you're the reason his carefully constructed piece is falling apart, and he wants to decide if you're worth it. Don Park sat behind a desk that probably cost more than Aaliyah's entire education. He studied her the way a jeweler studies a stone, assessing value, looking for flaws. You're younger than I expected, he said. I'm 28, and already a mother of 3, by a man who belongs to a world you don't understand. He leaned back. Tell me, miss. Aaliyah. Tell me, Aaliyah. Do you love him, or do you love what he can provide? The question was a test. I love who he is when the world isn't watching, she said carefully, when he's just a man trying to be better than what his father made him. Pretty words, but words don't stop bullets. No. But they're all I have right now. Don Park smiled slightly. Jin tells me you held a gun this morning. First time? Yes. Did you fire it? No. They retreated before I had to. Would you have, if they came for your children? Aaliyah met his eyes, without hesitation. The Don nodded. Good, because they will come. Hyunwoo is many things, but patient isn't one of them. He'll push, test our defenses, try to draw you out. I'm not going anywhere. Smart, but it won't matter. He doesn't need you to leave. He just needs you to be afraid. The Don stood, walking to the window. Fear makes people make mistakes, and mistakes get people killed. Are you trying to scare me? I'm trying to prepare you. Because my daughter may have agreed to shelter you, but that doesn't mean I'm happy about it. You represent instability, a wild card in a game that was finally balanced. He turned to face her. But you're also leverage. If Hyunwoo wants Daehyun to break, you're the pressure point. Which means keeping you alive keeps options open. How comforting. It should be. In our world, being useful is the only thing that guarantees survival. A knock at the door interrupted them. One of the Don's men entered, whispering urgently. The Don's expression darkened. Get Jin, now. They gathered in a secure room. Aaliyah, Jin, Minseo, and Don Park. The Don pulled up security footage on a screen. This was taken 30 minutes ago, 3 blocks from here. The video showed a black van parked across from the estate gates. A man stepped out, looked directly at the camera, and held up a sign. 48 hours. Tick-tock. Then he got back in the van and drove away. Hyunwoo's making his timeline clear, Jin said. He's also showing us he's close, the Don added. He wants you to know you're not safe, that these walls won't protect you. Aaliyah's chest tightened. What do we do? We don't panic, Minseo said. Panic is what he wants. Easy for you to say. Your children aren't... Aaliyah stopped herself, but the damage was done. Minseo's expression went cold. No, I don't have children, because I was smart enough not to bring them into this world. But you fell in love with a crime lord and gave him 3 beautiful reasons to destroy himself. Minseo, her father warned. But she wasn't finished. You want to know why I'm really helping you? Because if Daehyun falls apart trying to save you, the entire region destabilizes. Territory wars, bloodshed, chaos. And my family pays the price. So, yes, I'm protecting you. But don't mistake it for kindness. She walked out. The room fell silent. She's not wrong, the Don said quietly. You are a liability. But you're also the only thing keeping Daehyun from making a very stupid decision. So we keep you alive. For now. He left too. Jin and Aaliyah sat alone. I should never have come here, Aaliyah said. You didn't have a choice. I had a choice 2 years ago. I could have walked away when I found out who Daehyun really was. What he did. But I stayed. And now 3 babies are caught in the middle of a war they didn't ask for. Jin's voice was gentle. You think the boss regrets them. I think he regrets me. You're wrong. I've known him for 15 years. Seen him make every kind of decision a man can make. And I've never seen him as sure of anything as he is about you and those babies. He'd burn his entire empire to the ground before he let Hyunwoo touch you. That's what I'm afraid of. Upstairs, a baby started crying. Aaliyah stood immediately, every maternal instinct firing. I need to go, Jin said. I'll handle security. She ran upstairs, finding the nursery where the maid was trying to comfort Minji. I'm sorry, the maid said. She won't stop crying. Aaliyah took her daughter and immediately Minji settled, her tiny fist grabbing her mother's shirt. She just wanted you, the maid said softly. Aaliyah held her close, tears threatening. Because that's all any of them wanted. To be together. To be safe. To be a family. But the world Dae-hyun came from didn't allow for simple things like that. And now, they were all paying the price. 24 hours left. Dae-hyun had been counting every second. Hyunwoo's men brought him food, water, even untied him long enough to use a makeshift bathroom. They weren't torturing him. They were just waiting, making sure he understood how powerless he was. Hyunwoo returned at midnight. Have you made your decision? He asked. I need proof they're safe. Of course you do. Hyunwoo pulled out his phone, pulling up a live feed. The park estate. Aaliyah in the nursery, feeding one of the babies. She looked exhausted, scared, but alive. Satisfied? Hyunwoo asked. For now. Good. Then let's talk business. He pulled out the contract again. 60% of your empire. In exchange, I leave your family alone. Forever. No tricks. No revenge. Clean break. And I'm supposed to trust you? No. You're supposed to sign. Trust has nothing to do with it. Hyunwoo sat down. You have 12 hours left. After that, things get complicated. Complicated how? I stop targeting just you. I start targeting everyone. Your lieutenants, your allies, your income streams. I make it so expensive to support you that your own people turn on you. He smiled. It's amazing how quickly loyalty crumbles when profit margins disappear. Dae-hyun studied his brother. The scars, the bitterness, the rage that had been festering for 12 years. You really think taking my empire will make you happy? He asked. No, but it'll make us even. We'll never be even. I can't give you back 12 years. Can't bring back Yuna. Can't undo the fire. No, but you can give me what father gave you. Power, respect. The Kang name meaning something. The Kang name is soaked in blood. And whose blood is that, little brother? Mine? Yuna's? Everyone father destroyed to build his empire? Hyunwoo leaned forward. You inherited murder. I'm just collecting what's owed. Dae-hyun was quiet for a long moment. Then he said, what if I sign it over? All of it. 100%. Every territory. Every operation. Every dollar. Hyunwoo blinked. What? You heard me. Take it all. The entire empire. I walk away. Completely. No ties, no obligations. Just let me go. You're serious. Completely. You want the Kang Empire? It's yours. I don't want it anymore. Hyunwoo stared at him like he'd grown a second head. You'd really give up everything, just like that? For them? Without hesitation. You're lying. I'm not. Sign whatever documents you want. Transfer everything into your name. I'll even make a public statement supporting you as the new head of the family. But in exchange, you leave Aaliyah and the babies alone. Forever. Hyunwoo stood, pacing. This is a trick. It's not. You're the great Dae-hyun Kang. You don't just surrender. I'm not surrendering. I'm choosing. And I'm choosing them. The raw honesty in his voice made Hyunwoo stop. You really mean it, he said slowly. Every word. Hyunwoo studied him for a long time. Then he laughed, not cruel, but almost sad. Father was right about you, he said. You were always too soft, too human. That's why he chose you over me. because I would have burned the world down for Yuna. And he knew it. So did I. That's why I'm offering this. Hyunwoo sat back down. You realize what you're giving up? The power. The respect. The fear. Without the empire, you're just another man. Good. That's all I ever wanted to be. Liar, you loved it. The control. The dominance. Don't pretend you didn't. Maybe once. But not anymore. Now I just want to watch my kids grow up. To be there when they take their first steps. Say their first words. To not have to worry about someone using them to hurt me. Hyunwoo was quiet. Then he pulled out a new document. Blank. Clean. Fine, he said. 100% transfer. Effective immediately. You sign this and I leave your family alone. Swear it. On Yuna's grave, I swear. Daehyun nodded. Untie me. Hyunwoo hesitated, then gestured to his men. They cut the ropes. Daehyun stood slowly, his muscles screaming from hours of being bound. He walked to the table, picked up the pen, and signed his name. Daehyun Kang. With that signature, he gave away everything his father built. Everything he'd fought for. The empire that had defined his entire life. And he felt nothing but relief. Hyunwoo stared at the document. You actually did it. I told you I would. What are you going to do now? Without the empire? Daehyun looked at him. Be a father. Be a partner. Be the man Aaliyah deserves. And if your people come after you, if they see you as weak, then I deal with it. But at least I'll be dealing with it as myself, not as father's ghost. Hyunwoo folded the document carefully. You're either the bravest man I've ever met or the stupidest. Someone else told me that recently. They were right. Hyunwoo stood. You're free to go. My men will drive you back to the Park Estate. That's it? That's it. You gave me what I wanted. I keep my word. He paused. For what it's worth. I'm sorry. About Aaliyah. The babies. The fear. I just needed you to understand. I do. Good. Hyunwoo extended his hand. Daehyun stared at it. Then slowly, he shook it. We're done, little brother, Hyunwoo said. Live your quiet life, be happy, and try not to think about what you gave up. I won't. Because what I got in return is worth infinitely more. Daehyun arrived at the Park Estate at dawn. The gates opened immediately, security waving him through. Jin met him at the entrance, relief flooding his face. Boss. Where are they? Daehyun interrupted. Upstairs. Nursery. But you should know. Daehyun was already moving. He took the stairs 2 at a time, ignoring exhaustion, ignoring pain, focused only on getting to them. The nursery door was open. Aaliyah sat in a rocking chair, June asleep in her arms, dark circles under her eyes. Minji and Hana slept in cribs nearby. She looked up when he entered. For a moment, neither of them moved. Then Aaliyah stood carefully, setting June in his crib, and crossed the room. She didn't say anything, just wrapped her arms around him and held on like he might disappear. Daehyun buried his face in her hair, breathing her in. Alive, real, safe. I thought, her voice broke. I thought I'd lost you. Never. I promised I'd come back. She pulled back, looking at him. Really looking. What happened? I made a deal. What kind of deal? The kind that means we're free. Her eyes widened. Daehyun, what did you do? He told her everything. The contract, the transfer, giving Hyunwoo the entire empire. She stared at him. You gave up everything. No? I gave up the empire. That's not everything. But it's who you are, what you've built. It's what my father built, what I inherited. It was never really mine. He cupped her face. But you are. They are. And I'm not losing that for anything. Tears streamed down her face. You can't just walk away from that world. They won't let you. They don't have a choice. Hyunwoo is the head of the family now, officially, publicly. I'm out. And the people who worked for you, the enemies you made, They'll see you as weak. Let them. Dehy, Aaliyah. His voice was firm. I spent my entire life being strong for the wrong reasons, building power I didn't want, becoming someone I hated. And I'm done. I'm done choosing empire over family. Done pretending that control matters more than love. He kissed her forehead. You and those 3 babies are my empire now. And that's enough. She sobbed into his chest, holding him tight. Behind them, Minji stirred, making a small sound. Dehy went to her crib, picking her up gently. She blinked at him, then smiled, a real smile this time. Hey, sweetheart, he whispered. Sorry I was gone, but I'm here now, and I'm not leaving again. Aaliyah joined him, leaning against his side. What happens now? She asked. Now? We disappear. Find somewhere quiet, somewhere safe. Raise these 3 away from all of this. You think Hyunwoo will really leave us alone? He swore on Yuna's grave. That's sacred to him. He'll keep his word. And Minseo, her father, they're not going to just let us walk out of here. They will, because I'm no longer valuable. I'm just a man with 3 babies and a woman I love. That's not a threat to anyone. Aaliyah wanted to believe him, but she'd learned enough about his world to know. Nothing was ever that simple. They stayed at the Park estate for 3 more days. Minseo was distant but civil. The Don said nothing, just watched Dehy with unreadable eyes. Jin helped them pack, arrange transportation, set up a new identity in a small town 2 states away. On the last morning, Minseo found Dehy on the terrace. You really did it, she said. Gave up everything. Yes. Do you regret it? Not for a second. She nodded slowly. I wish I understood what it's like to love something that much, to be willing to sacrifice everything for it. You will, someday, when you meet someone who makes you forget why power mattered. Minseo smiled sadly. I hope you're right. Thank you for everything. Don't thank me. You still owe me a favor. Remember? I remember. Good. Because one day I'll collect. And when I do, you won't be able to refuse. I know. She turned to leave, then paused. Take care of them, Dehy. They're lucky to have you. I'm the lucky one. They left at noon. A single car. No security. No fanfare. Just Aaliyah, Dehy, 3 babies, and Jin driving. You sure about this, boss? Jin asked. More sure than I've ever been about anything. What am I supposed to do? Without you? Whatever you want. You're free, Jin. No more obligations. No more orders. Just live. Jin was quiet for a long time. What if I don't know how? Dehy smiled. Then figure it out. You've got time. They drove through the city, past the buildings where Dehy used to conduct business, past the streets where his empire had once ruled. And he felt nothing. No regret. No loss. Just peace. Aaliyah held his hand, June asleep in her lap. Where are we going? She asked. Somewhere small, quiet, where no one knows us. And we just start over? We start living, really living, not surviving, not calculating, just being. She leaned her head on his shoulder. I like the sound of that. They drove for 6 hours, stopping at a small town called Riverside. Population, 3,000. 1 main street, a park, a library, normal. They rented a house on the edge of town, 2 bedrooms. A yard. Nothing special. But it was theirs. That night, Dehy stood in the nursery, watching his children sleep. Minji, Hana, June. 3 perfect little humans who had no idea their father used to be one of the most feared men on the East Coast. And they never would. Because that man was gone, replaced by someone better. Someone who understood that true power wasn't about fear or control. It was about being there for 2 a.m. feedings, about changing diapers, about holding your partner when she cried from exhaustion, about watching your children grow and knowing you'd sacrificed everything to give them a chance at a normal life. Aaliyah joined him, wrapping her arms around his waist. You okay? she asked. Perfect. Liar. You gave up everything. No. He turned, kissing her softly. I gave up nothing and gained everything. She smiled. I love you. I love you too. They stood there, holding each other, watching their children sleep. And for the first time in Daehyun's life, he felt complete. 3 months later, life in Riverside was quiet. Daehyun got a job at a local hardware store. Aaliyah went back to nursing part-time at the town clinic. They hired a babysitter, a sweet older woman named Martha, who didn't ask questions about their past. The babies grew, started sleeping through the night. Minji rolled over first. Hana laughed at everything. June was the quiet one, watching the world with serious eyes. They were happy, normal, safe, until the day a black car pulled up in front of their house. Daehyun was in the yard, playing with the babies on a blanket when he saw it. His entire body went cold. The car door opened. A man stepped out. Not Hyunwoo. Someone else. Someone Daehyun recognized immediately. Viktor Kozlov, head of the Russian syndicate. One of the most dangerous men in the world. And he was walking toward Daehyun's house. Aaliyah appeared in the doorway, saw the car, and froze. Daehyun stood slowly, putting himself between Kozlov and his family. Mr. Kang? Kozlov said in heavily accented English. Or should I say, Mr. Nobody. What do you want, Victor? To talk about a problem we both have. I don't have problems anymore. I'm retired. Retired? Kozlov laughed. Men like us don't retire. We just pause. He gestured to the house. Nice life you've built. Shame if something happened to it. Daehyun's hands clenched. I gave up the empire. I'm nobody now. Yes, you gave it to your brother, who is now making very bad decisions, starting wars, breaking treaties, destabilizing everything. Not my problem. Oh, but it is. Kozlov stepped closer. Because Hyunwoo is using your name, your reputation, claiming he speaks for the Kang legacy. And when he burns everything down, people will remember it was you who put him in power. Daehyun's jaw tightened. What do you want? I want you to fix your mistake. Take back the empire. Remove your brother before he destroys us all. No. No. Kozlov's eyes darkened. You think you can refuse? I'm done with that world. I'm not going back. Even if it means your family pays the price? The threat was clear. Daehyun took a step forward. You threaten them, and I don't care how powerful you are. I will end you. Kozlov smiled. There's the Daehyun I remember, the killer, the crime lord. Still in there, isn't he? Just waiting for an excuse. Get off my property. I'll go, but I'll be back. And next time I won't ask nicely. Kozlov turned toward his car, then paused. Your brother is destroying everything, Daehyun. And when he's done, the men he's crossed will come for you. Because you created him. You gave him power. And that makes you responsible. He got in the car and drove away. Aaliyah ran to Daehyun, the babies in her arms. Who was that? She asked, voice shaking. Someone from the past. What did he want? Daehyun looked at his family, at the quiet life they'd built, at the peace he'd sacrificed everything for. And he realized it was already slipping away. He wants me to go back, Daehyun said quietly. Back to what? He met her eyes. To who I used to be. Aaliyah's face went pale. You can't. You promised. I know. Daehyun. His phone buzzed. A message from an unknown number. He opened it. A photo. Hyunwoo. Standing in the ruins of what used to be one of the Park family's warehouses. Blood on his hands. A smile on his scarred face. And beneath it, a caption. You gave me an empire, little brother. Now watch me burn it down. And when I'm done, I'm coming for what you love most. Because you took everything from me once. Now it's my turn. Daehyun's blood went ice cold. Aaliyah saw his face. What is it? He showed her the photo. She gasped. He said he'd leave us alone. He swore. He lied. But you gave him everything. And he wants more. He always has. Dehy looked at the house, at the life they'd built, at the illusion of safety. I was wrong. You can't walk away from that world. Not really. It follows you, finds you, destroys everything you love. So what do we do? Dehy held her close, the babies between them. We fight, he said quietly. One last time. I go back. I take the empire from him, and I end this, permanently. But you gave it up to protect us. And now I'm taking it back for the same reason. Aaliyah's eyes filled with tears. You promised me peace. I know, but peace is a lie. Not in our world, not with my name. He kissed her forehead. I'm sorry. Then he pulled out his phone and made a call. Jin answered on the first ring. Boss? I need you, Dehy said. And I need our people. All of them. I thought you retired. I did, but my brother just declared war, and I'm going to finish what I should have 12 years ago. A pause. Then, I'll make the calls. Dehy hung up. Aaliyah stared at him. This is it, isn't it? You're going back. For you, for them. I have to. And if you don't come back... He looked at his children. Minji, Hana, June. 3 innocent lives caught in a war they didn't start. Then you run, you disappear, you give them the life I couldn't. Dae-hyun. But he was already moving, already planning, already becoming the man he'd tried so hard to leave behind. Because some men aren't made for peace. They're made for war. And Dae-hyun Kong was about to remind the world why they used to fear his name. To be continued in episode 3.